Thanks, Chris. I do so right.
And your mom is awesome, Navi. I just got to add that in.
Thank you.
Yeah, EB moms are... I never met Navi's mom, but I can only imagine, because the EB moms out there, absolutely incredible. The dads, too. But the moms are more noticeable online. I've gotten to know a lot of the EB moms, and absolutely incredible community of people. The smart, caring, just unbelievable group of women.
Fantastic. Okay, so I'm gonna play this one more song. This is called One World, and then we are gonna talk to Miss April, which I do believe she sings with Jamie in this song. So Navi, don't go anywhere. Cam and Chris, stay on the phone with me too. All right? We're gonna have a big old get together, powwow about Jamie.
Beautiful.
I see a boy who's frightened, a young boy with old eyes. I long to say, you're welcome here. You can be happy now that you're home. We're all a part of one world. We all can share the same dream. And if you just reach out to me, then you will find deep down inside I'm just like you. Loud voices raised in anger speak harsh words, such cruel words. Why do they speak so selfishly when we have got so much we can share? So let your heart be open and reach out with all your love. We are not strangers now. We are all brothers now, and we are one. We're all a part of one world. We all can share the same dream. And if you just reach out to me, then you will find deep down inside I'm just like you. We're all a part of one world. We all can share the same dream. And if you just reach out to me, then you will find deep down inside I'm just like you. I'm just like you.
Oh, let's talk about the music. I'm Shells, your host, and tonight we're doing a special tribute to Jamie Hartley, who is a musician that passed away 2 years ago, and she never got her chance to play her music on the air while she was alive, and so tonight I am doing a little tribute. Before we bring on the next guest, some of you guys know that controversial doesn't have to be about a debate, or it doesn't have to be us arguing about something to make a point. A controversial can be about something we all agree on, what we are touched in our lives, what we want to talk to, but we have no way to do that because we're afraid to. Especially like musicians, we are all stereotyped. I say we because I am one too. I am a dancer, or a performer, as you want to say. But we don't want people to know that musicians are just narrow-minded. They're just all drugs. They're all about this. No, we also have a heart. We do believe on good things around. We can bring good out of people too with our help. And this is basically what Jamie's all about. She still is a musician. She's still with us. She's still shining the light down on us to do wonderful with our life, no matter how much painful we are. And tonight, this is all about her and her music. And that song right there was called One World. And she performed that with her best friend, April, who's on the phone right now. April?
Hi.
How are you doing?
Let me get
Good, doing good. Enjoying the podcast.
Good.
Yeah.
Chris, what are you going to say?
I was just going to give people a little background about April and the connection. April's an amazing singer-songwriter with lots of awards under her belt. Her music's been featured on over 100 albums and compilations around the world, as well as film and commercials. A close friend of Jamie's, she had the chance to perform with her, and she even produced Jamie's Nella Fantasia EP, which we've been listening to tonight. It's a privilege for me to be able to introduce April. That's why I jumped in. And April, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Chris and Charles. Thank you so much. It's good to be here.
Good for you to be here, too. I'm very happy you're here. So, tell us the first time you met Jamie.
Okay, so Jamie and I actually met, we were both attending BYU, and I remember we were just walking down, I was walking down this path leading to the complex that I lived in right south of campus, and I remember seeing Jamie. I can't remember if she talked to me or I talked to her first, but anyway, we just started talking all the way down this hill. Turned out we were living in the same apartment complex. Had no idea. Wow. And I loved music, and I was trying to do that, quite a bit. And then I found out she loved it. She had already recorded an album. Anyway, we got talking, but I don't think we talked a little bit about music right then, but a lot of what we talked about was more what was going on in our life at the time. So like dating, we ended up having like an 8-hour conversation. I mean, from walking home, pretty much we went straight to her apartment and just talked the rest of the afternoon and the evening, and just became, I was immediately drawn to her like everybody else, everyone else who was talked, and any of her friends and family. She's so engaging and so fun to be around. And so just kind of was immediately drawn to her, and found out we had a lot in common, even in certain dating regards. And so we were kind of talking through some things, and she talked about music and how much she loved it and what she'd done, and she showed me a couple songs. Well, the first time we really started doing any kind of music was really that night, because she said, hey, I wrote this song for a camp that I attend for those with my same skin condition, and she said, it goes kind of like this, and so she was singing it, and I thought, oh man, you got to record that. That's a really beautiful song. And she said, oh yeah, but I don't play an instrument, and I haven't really. She'd written only a few things musically, and so anyway, so I just said, well, let me grab my guitar. So I just ran across. Literally, we lived like a stone's throw across from each other. He lived just right on the other side of me. of this fishbowl type complex. And so I ran and got my guitar and went back over, and we kind of just sat there. And so I started to add some chords to what she had already had musically. And at that point, she's like, you know, hey, I don't know if she said or I said, but the idea, hey, let's record this. That's about as far as I thought in terms of doing anything musically. She gave me her album, and I was just blown away. Just blown away. I listened to it because I didn't really know, especially from talking to her, I could tell that she had issues, you know, and she had mentioned that she had some scar tissue in her throat. So I knew that, yeah, I just did not expect her to have the kind of voice she did. So when she said she made a CD, I was like, that's cute, you know. I kind of didn't take it seriously. And then I listened to it, and I was just like, you know, my jaw kind of dropped. Oh, I had no idea I was talking to someone who had a voice kind of like a Charlotte Church, Sissel type, to Celtic women type sound. And so I was just kind of blown away by her talent because she'd already done a CD at that point. So anyway, so we kind of became friends, and over the years, over the next like couple years or few years, she would mention, you know, oh, you should produce one of my CDs. And, you know, I kind of laughed because at that point I was just I was kind of new to producing. I'd been doing a lot of singing and performing, but in terms of producing, I was still kind of new to it. Because I met her, by the way, in like 2002. So it's been a little while ago. And so at that time I was just starting to get into kind of that side of things a little bit. So anyway, you know, she'd mentioned it, and I kind of laughed thinking she was joking. And so, but then she kept mentioning it over the next couple of years or whatever. I lived with her for a little while, and it was just really fun to live at her house, and we'd do a little bit of music. But anyway, so, yeah, she just kept bringing it up. Finally, I was like, are you serious? She's like, no, I really want you to produce it. So I was like, okay, this isn't something that I could do full time at this point. I'm like 22 years old or whatever. And so anyway, within a few years, we started to kind of piece together, okay, here are the songs. And it actually took a while. It took a while to actually get it going for various reasons, mostly good reasons. She got married and other stuff was going on, so it was kind of a busy time frame in that next handful of years. And she was also graduating and some other things. So anyway, we finally started to work on it, and you know, picking the songs. I don't know how much you want me to go into kind of like the process of how she came to pick certain songs or what. Do you want me to do that, or?
Yeah, well, did you guys work together on picking these songs, or how did that all work out?
Well, yeah, so mostly what happened is I said, okay, why don't you put together a list of, you know, songs that you love, songs that really move you or that you just really enjoy for whatever reason. And then I said, and I'll throw some your way to see if those are ones you could kind of entertain, to see if any of those move you. So she ended up having, it was some songs she picked. I picked a couple ones off the EP that we did. One World was actually one of them. I just thought it was really beautiful, and I knew she loved the Celtic women, and it's one that they had done. So anyway, Butterfly Free, which was the first song you played tonight, that song was really meaningful to Jamie. She wrote that. So that song was basically a tribute to all those with EB who she knew, who were living and who had passed away. And so she wrote it
including
all about...
her brother Ben.
Including her brother Ben, yeah. And really it was all about the way they'd inspired her to just kind of spread her wings and soar and not let things hold her back. And so at the end, and when we were in the studio recording this was probably it was really emotional because as she was singing, you know, first of all, her voice, she can hit notes I can't even think of. I mean, she can sing so high. And there's certain parts in that track where she just sings